Yeah, I'll just do a couple, Ash, and then I'll pass over to you.
No worries.
Cool. Happy? Yeah. Scott, thank you for joining us. Another exciting game coming up this weekend against Gillingham. Can I get your thoughts ahead of that one?
Yeah, game we're looking forward to. Obviously, two teams who have good momentum, so we know it's going to be a tough game. They've started off obviously really well. 3 really good results from them from the league, and 1 from the cup as well. So yeah, 2 teams with good momentum, so it should be an exciting game.
There's a great feel around the club at the moment. There's a good relationship between the squad and the fans as well. I just want to get your take on perhaps some of the chants that we've heard from the terrace. The fans really seem to have taken to the new players, don't they?
They do, yeah. And you know, I think that when there was certain movement in the window early on, people were kind of questioning decisions to, you know, get rid of certain players and sign certain players, and which I understand, like I've said in previous interviews, that supporters, fans, you know, they get attached to these players because some of them players have been here a long time, and they grow an attachment to them and support them players, and rightly so. That's what football supporting is. But unfortunately, you know, things happen in football where players move on and new players come in, and hopefully, you know, it doesn't take too long for them to try and build a relationship with these new players. But that can only happen through these new players performing properly on the pitch, working extremely hard, showing a passion to the badge, to the club, and playing well, you know, and they've certainly done that, the new boys, and that's why you hear the fans kind of chanting their names very early on, because these boys have done extremely well.
I suppose it must sound like a bit of a cliche when you say that there's multiple games in a week, you might struggle for fitness. How is the squad? Obviously we've had a lot of games recently, but I suppose when we're performing as well as we are, you will want to keep the squad the same, won't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah, we do. Managing the squad throughout the week's an important factor of how we work. You know, we make sure that the boys who played Tuesday night, that their load's very minimal between now and kick-off on Saturday. Making sure we get enough information into them about how we want them to play Saturday. So I know it's about kind of managing the individuals within the squad accordingly. So the boys who needed extra work today did some top-up work, and the boys who played kind of did very little and went in. Tomorrow they'll do a little bit more, but it'll be more about game understanding about how we expect them to go about playing against what's going to be a really tough test in Gillingham.
Perfect, thanks, Scott. Take over.
Thank you. Scott, you've spoken before about how before the season had even started, Crawley were backed as favourites to be relegated. You're 3 games in, 7 points against some of the toughest opponents in the league. What's your response to those calls now?
I understand that people have to make judgment on what they think. You know, I understand that. I think there was one media outlet, I think it was called the Real EFL, which have got apparently 9 writers who every one of them backed us to go down. You know, I don't know what evidence they had to kind of come up with that conclusion. Maybe it was because where we finished last season. Maybe it's because we got rid of experienced players and we brought in younger players, and they just thought that we were going to crash and burn. And you know, it's kind of their job, I suppose, to do that and to write them stories. We, you know, it doesn't bother us. We know what we're capable of within the 4 walls of our dressing room and the training ground, and the work that's been put in by myself and the staff and the players as well. You know, we're just going about our business quietly, and you know, long may that continue, and people can say what they want. You know, it just is what it is.
Is it, as much as it is what it is it kind of used as motivation as well? Because it's kind of had the opposite effect.
Not at all, because I don't listen to anybody outside of what we're doing about anything to do with football. Whether it's good, bad or indifferent, I don't care. If I'm honest with you, and I certainly won't be using them for anything that I do.
I'd like to just cast your mind back to Tuesday night, and an amazing win, as Sam mentioned earlier on. Can I get your thoughts on Nick Cerula? He's been a fan favourite here for a while now. How do you kind of rank him, or how do you look at him compared to the rest of the league as a whole? Because I mean, he was fantastic on Tuesday.
Yeah, as good as anybody in the league in that position, for sure. you know, he come up to me today and said it's the best football he's ever been playing in the team, and that he's really enjoying himself. And I think that's really evident with the way he's playing. He's obviously enjoying himself, you know, and I think that he can actually add to the score. On most weeks I think he can get more goals, definitely, because we're not asking him, it's not like a wing back where we're asking him to defend down the pitch. We're actually asking him to be a winger and to be higher up the pitch, more aggressive. You know, you look at kind of his starting position, he's always higher than a normal wing back would be. You know, he's been probably one of our most attacking threats in a lot of the games. He scored a couple of goals in pre-season, mind as well. So I think he can add definitely more goals to his game. But yeah, he's as good as anybody at this level in that position, definitely.
Just want to look ahead to Gillingham this weekend as well, big game coming up. Just wanted to cast your mind back to, I think it was early February, where you went away to Gillingham, you lost 1-0 in the end, but both of your sides were kind of in and around the relegation zone. How far do you think your Crawley have come since that game away to Gillingham to now? I mean, it seems like quite the difference. Yeah,
day and night for sure. We're miles away from where we was then. I actually thought we deserved something out of the game. I remember Ben Gladwin picking the ball up in the middle of the pitch and driving forward. I think he bounced it maybe to Remy, got it back, went through, got kind of behind their back line and maybe should have scored. I think he had an extra touch, and I think that would have been a turning point in that game. I think had he scored that goal, I fancy we'd have gone on and won it. He didn't, and we didn't. So, but yeah, we're day and night from that now. You know, we're completely different set up completely. You know, we had a way of playing to keep us up, but we're now not at that. We're not at that position anymore. We're now a completely different setup. We're playing how I wanted to probably play when I first come in, but no, I couldn't. But now we are.
And just finally from me as well, you're coming up against Ashley Naderson this weekend, a former player of yours. He's in strong form at the moment as well. How are you feeling about facing him this weekend?
Yeah, you know, listen, he's a very good player. He's obviously in good form as well, scored some goals, hasn't he, already? So, you know, we're mindful of that. We just got to make sure that we're switched on at every moment that the ball turns over, because he will look to run in behind. He's very good at that, something that he's very strong at. What is good is the fact that my players know him, so they'll know what to expect. But no, listen, it's a game we're looking forward to, and hopefully we keep Ashley quiet.
Well, not me, hopefully. Not in here. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah. Just worth mentioning, the Real FL gave me an award for League 2 Journalist of the Year last year, so their judgment is questionable.
We better not hammer them then.
As you say, it's been a great start. You were keen to emphasise it is just the start. How realistically, how far can this Crawley team go this season, do you think?
You know, we've got kind of like privately we've got aims and ambitions ourselves. We don't want to publicly name that, because we think that kind of changes the pressure on us. So we know what we can achieve. I think if we listen, the first thing for me is to make sure we improve on last season. That's a must, you know, and whilst it already looks like we are doing, it's still a long way to go. We're still very early, but that's an importance that we look like we're improving year on year as a football club. You know, I look at not just the results on the pitch and the way we play on the pitch, but I also look at the environment that's been set now around the place. It's a totally different place now from when I come in January, and that's down to a lot of hard work and experience from myself and my staff, and of course the players as well. You know, players that I've brought in, such as Ben Gladwin, who's the club captain. I know we've not seen a lot of him on the pitch, certainly this season, but we will. Setting the environment's really key. You know, we've got a new training ground, which was a lot of hard work from the people in the background, Tom Allman, Harry Maynard, you know, people in the background doing a lot of hard work to make that happen. We're driving all around Kent and Sussex in the summer trying to find a new training ground, and, you know, a lot of hard work from everybody. So the environment that we've set is far, far superior to the one what was here when I first come. The standards from the players is far superior to when I first come, and everybody's kind of become really professional and the standards are through the roof. And I think when you have that, and when you manage that and you expect that from a group of men, then you can only see improvement on the pitch as well.
Yeah. And first 3 league games, you've started with the same starting 11. How important is that continuity, and also sort of connected with it, how is Kellan? Because obviously he limped off on Tuesday night.
Yeah, Kellan's he's got a scan today, so we ain't going to know until probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours time the extent of that injury. But he's going to be definitely a doubt for Saturday, I would think. But yeah, it's important that we have that continuity. I think that that's always... you look at teams up and down the country who are successful, usually have a good balance of continuity within their squad and don't make loads of changes all the time. I think with the way we play, you want to make changes probably more so at the top of the pitch as opposed to at the bottom of the pitch. You want to try and keep the same back three. You want to try and keep the same midfield two, and then the ones up front, because of the way they press and the chasing they do, you want to add freshness to that every now and then. So that might probably differ from now and then, more so probably. So, but yeah, no, it's important we have that continuity. Yeah,
and also connected in some sense, the transfer window is still open. Are you still looking to add to the squad?
Yes, we are looking to add. We are looking to add possibly 1, if not maybe 2.
Excellent. Thank you. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you.